Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, 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 and we love you, DCL. Shouldn't really laugh, should I? How's everyone doing? This is a really early life for me, innit? Finished work early, so I thought I'd jump on through the day and give you my opinion on DCL, because that's what you're all here for. You're here to vent, you're here to see my opinion and see if it aligns with yours, and if it don't, we'll have a discussion about it. So get your comments in. I can see my mate Philip Anderson's already done that, which is brilliant. Yeah, 21 of you in straight off the bat. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please smash a like on the video. Appreciate it. Philip Anderson, DCL, Leeds is stroke because he's an absolute striker. We are going back down with him up front. Oh, this is the most negative I think I've ever heard you, Philip. DCL Leeds, horrible. This has ruined all the good work the 49ers have done this transfer window. Really, really don't like this at all. He's just as bad as Bamford. Yeah, well, hopefully I can shine a little bit of light on, to make your darkness fade a little bit, because I'm okay about it. I'm quite cool about it, mate. But yeah, let's get into the article that came out not too long ago. David Ornstein reported, it may have been reported first, but this is the one I saw, exclusive. Leeds United reach agreement in principle to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 28-year-old striker, free agent after Everton contract expired. England international scheduled at Thorpe Park imminently to do a medical before completing. So yes, are you surprised? I know we've been apparently all in for Muniz and going to bring in a top draw striker for big money. But the longer this has gone on, the longer he hasn't had a club. We had rumours he were going to Scum a week or so ago. Apparently got offered to conversations with Sunderland, and he turned them down. Although I've seen reports suggesting since that they're pushing back on that. I don't think they want to admit they got turned down by him, but I think that potentially did happen. And I've also seen reports as well conflicting at all, saying that he wasn't our preferred player to sign at this stage, and we weren't his preferred club to sign for. So I don't, if I'm honest, I don't really give a shit about that. Not everybody, is a Leeds fan. Not everybody has a diehard passion to sign for this club. We've got him through the door. He is another piece of a puzzle that's still getting made and still getting pieced together. If he was a final puzzle, then maybe I'd be a little bit more downbeat about it. But it's just another component of the engine we are building to become a sustainable Premier League club. And I feel like I'm turning into a happy clapper, but it's not one I really wanted. It's one I kind of felt might happen. It sort of ticks every box profile wise, the height, the sort of physical element he's got, the experience, his age, 28. Kind of felt he'd be older than that, but 28, he's been around the block. He knows where the goal is, but he also knows where the physio table is. So it's a bit of a gamble in terms of, we need to, stay up and build. So if we don't get the signings right, it's a massive gamble, a financial gamble. It is not. Free transfer, wages I've not seen yet, obviously, and the terms of the contract. Hopefully that'll come out in due course. But I don't look at this one and fear the worst. And me, I did a video. Well, I'm not saying it's right, because obviously it may not be. But I did a video a week or so ago saying that I firmly believe that the best striker we will have at this club is currently at the club. So I'm tipping Pirro and Mecha to have decent seasons anyway and outperform any incoming striker, which I'm sure if we show up shop now and these were our three going forward, you'd probably all agree now that, I've maybe called that one right. Although at the time we were in for Muniz, and that was quite a big bold statement, but I aren't too sure we go out there and spend 30-40 million pounds on a striker. Maybe this allows us to go all out for El Kanous plus another winger, plus a 10. Who knows? Maybe there's more money to play around with other areas, and maybe he's happy with Mecha, Pirro and and DCL. So it'll be interesting to see who we linked with up top still. Is 3 enough? People will say no, especially when 2 of them have had injury worries. Obviously, Met's just come back off the back of an injury hit season 2, hence why he will probably a free. He's losing Joseph and Bamford and not sort of going out there and splashing the cash and bringing in 2 free transfers as your strikers. Is that enough for Leeds fans? Probably not. Is it enough to stay up? Like I said yesterday, I'm not going to say it's not enough to stay up because we don't know, do we? And until he plays poorly in a Leeds shirt or until he's out for a sustained period in a Leeds shirt, then I'll make judgment. I'll make comment. 28-year-old is injured. You can't just throw a book at someone because he's been injured. Not everyone's a Pat Bamford. Not everyone's going to be injured consistently for 4 seasons. He's had his injury, and we'll get into it. We'll have a look at his injury record and games and days missed and stuff. But at some point, you've got to back yourself as a person. You've got to back, that things can get better. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be passing a medical if he wasn't. I know there's been no news of that yet, but if he passes a medical, you've got to assume he's in decent nick and he's good to go. If anything major comes up in the medical, then we won't sign him, and that's fair enough. So let's get a few of your comments anyway. So yeah, you're really not happy, mate. Let's put you on a downer on it, Philip. Get off the fence, Philip. Transfer team. If this was what they've aimed for since we got promoted in April, then the team needs another restructure, falling short in a lot of areas. Thanks for your comment, Michael. Hey up, Danny. Smash a like and subscribe, please. Yeah, DCL for the golden boot. That's more like it, Mike. If he stays fit, he scores goals. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. He's not a bad player. It's just can his body hold up. Hey up, Ina. Hope you're well, mate. 4 candles. Hey up, mate. 49ers. We're going to be aggressive in the transfer market, and this is the best attacking signing they can come up with. But we don't know he's the best attacking signing we can come up with, do we? We don't know that. It's not transfer deadline day. Who's to say we don't bring in another? Who's to say that's not on the card still, mate? So it's hard to judge when there's still days left in window. I think Farke wants 4. So maybe we'll bring another in. And maybe we'll bring a player in who is 30-40 million pound plus play. I don't think it will be, if I'm honest. But you need, you look at it and you think Pirro can drop into 10. Metcha can drop into 10 if we needed. If we played a 4-2-3-1, you've got that adaptability. Maybe he wants another out-and-out striker to play with Calvert-Lewin. Someone who's got those attributes. Someone who's maybe a bit quicker. Someone who's a little bit different. Maybe there's 4 strikers wanted and there's 1 more still to come in. And this is just a deal that's there. It can be done. We've agreed it, and is there for his medical. I ain't going to be too down about it. DCL is out with a busted ACL. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. His name's DCL, mate. It's a bit too close to ACL for someone who's always injured. Hey up, Priestley. If you don't think this is a good signing, then there's no hope for you. You know what it is, Priestley? I don't think that's even right. I think it's fair to say it's not a good signing. People can say it's not a good signing. That is not the most outlandish statement I've heard today, But I think it's a bit unusual to lose your head over it. Do you get what I mean? I don't think it's bizarre or mental to say this isn't a good signing. Do I think it's a good sign? I think it's all right. Yeah, I think it's all right. I don't think it's outstanding. People will say it's a poor signing, and that's not ridiculous. But let's see how he does first. Let's judge him on what he does at Leeds United. Because a couple of years ago, Arsenal wanted him. So as a player, brilliant. Got a lot of attributes, play for England. We all know that Dominic Calvert-Lewin fit under Ancelotti. What a baller. Going back 2 or 3 years, we'd have beat your hand off to have someone like DCL on the side. Things have changed, recently. Of recent times, injuries and lack of form, and not being main man at Everton. Let's not forget though, Everton offered him a new deal. Everton wanted him to stay. They offered him a deal with better terms. So they were offering him a better deal than what we're currently on. So that tells me that Everton saw, the pay for his medical bills, have got him through his rough time. And I sort of think Everton are looking at him now thinking he's ready to kick on again now. So I ain't ready to throw a book at him. He's still only 28. Still, he could sign a 4 or 5 year contract with Leeds. Who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? He's in that age now where he'll be looking at getting into his prime. Is he past his best? Maybe. Maybe his best days are behind him. We don't know yet, do we? But until he's shit or until he's injured for Leeds United, I just think it's not fair to comment. People I'm not saying he goes through internet looking at what's being posted. I hope he doesn't, to be fair, because it's not a good start to his career at Leeds. But, I don't want that negativity to sort of invade any of these players' sort of space. You need him to come in fit and firing, and you know what the Leeds fan base is like. You want him to be getting ready to go at Ellen Road with everyone behind him. And if we get anywhere near the best version of Calvert-Lewin, then he's well worth playing for a newly promoted side. Did I want him? I weren't asked. Now we've got him. Am I in meltdown mode? No. It's just another box tick for me. It's another body in an area where we're light. And it won't be the only body coming in up top, will it? Or in an attacking area. And like I say, maybe this Metcher, Bornau, some of the, low-end transfer fees or amounts that we've had to pay out in terms of wages and cost in general, maybe that allows us to get these couple of X-Factor players that everyone's mourning that we haven't got. I think we've sort of noticed recently that Muniz probably ain't happening. We've sort of come to that conclusion now. There's no to say we aren't going to go out and get someone else. But I sort of know this was 100% going to absolutely go down like a lead balloon today. It's probably the worst signing they could have made today after the negativity that's grown this last week, after lack of signings. I said Leeds wouldn't sign players over 20 million so far. I'm right. Yeah, fair enough, mate. But I think we built a good squad with what we spent. I think we will, as long as we keep him fit. You know what it is, Rich, as well, right? Bar Metcher, the last free signing we made. This reminds me so much of the Sam Byram signing, although that wasn't as big a deal because he obviously was coming in as fullback cover. But I remember having Firpo at left back going into Championship. We were all absolutely bricking it with that, not thinking he'd be able to cut it. Did well in ending it. But Byram were thinking, I know he's only backup, but Firpo's not high. He gets a lot of suspensions, injuries. Byram's going to end up playing. As if we've signed Byram. What a player Byram turned out to be. He's not at that level now, granted, fair enough. Don't want to see him in Prem, whatever your opinion is then, but I'm on it, now. But then this reminds me of that signing. Really underwhelming to the majority, but could just turn out to be a really key addition to the squad. Hey up, Stevie. Hope you're well, mate. This transfer shows zero ambition. 5 goals in 2 seasons, says it all, forever injured like Bamford. What's Bamford though? Is Bamford like 31? You got 2 or 3 years on him. Pull your curtains across. You're like anti-Priestley. They are across. They're open. I actually would prefer Bamford, to be honest. Not impressed. 3 decent signings so far. Yeah, I'm not on that bandwagon. I know. I've seen a lot of people say I'd rather have Bamford. Not for me. This is an upgrade on Bamford, this, mate. It's an upgrade on Bamford for me. How do, Robbo? Well, that's it, mate. Maybe you won't pass his medical. And if you don't pass his medical, then fair enough. We've had conversation and it wasn't meant to be. Leeds AG, someone that knows ball very well, just said to me, it's a very fine signing so long as he's not the only striker you sign in the next 3 weeks. Yeah, and that's highly likely that we bring someone else in, Adam. I'm sort of coming to a conclusion we're going to spend a bit more money in other areas now, Would you sign a Metcher who's played for Germany and will want game time? Will you sign a Dominic Calvert-Lewin who will fancy his chances at Leeds? There's no way will he think I'm going to be third choice, which maybe some Leeds fans think he should be. He'll back himself to get more minutes than that. But would he come knowing they're going to go spend £35 million on a strike? I don't know. Maybe you would. But you look at if he's turned down Sunderland, did he go to Sunderland looking at their strikers? He'd have probably started at Sunderland. And I'm a big Isidore fan, but he hadn't done no for the last 6 months of last season. My end hadn't done much. Speaking to Wayne last night, up top, that guy, is he out? I don't know. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin goes to Sunderland and starts. Is he going to come to Leeds as third choice, fourth choice? I don't know. Maybe. I reckon he takes Bamford's number 9 shirt, so we'll see him running around Ellen Road with number 9 in his back. Yeah, he does, but you've also got to look at it as well with Everton. Look where Everton have been for the last 5 years. He's been in and out of injuries. Granted, you can't help that. It is what it is. He's taking a gamble on his injury form and the fact that you need him to stay a lot more fit than we've had off Bamford. But when you actually look at his goal record over the last 5 years, which we'll look at soon, you've got to look at who's supplying him. He's had Jack Harrison playing for two of them seasons. Damari Gray at some point. His best season, he had James Rodriguez in behind him, which probably helped under Ancelotti. But again, Everton performed well that season. So did Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But let's be fair, look how bad they've been. Look when Lampard were there and stayed up on last day, and they've been such a poor side of Everton. In the last 5 years, Aina, I cannot believe Everton didn't go down. I cannot believe they didn't get relegated. So I don't think you can leave that just at his door. They've been so poor. Do you know what I mean? Well, I haven't seen how much he's getting, Stevie, but there's absolutely no way on this earth is he getting 150 grand a week. He won't even be making 100 grand a week at Leeds. He just won't be. Yeah, he has. He hasn't been as bad as what people think. Williak. Sounds like having a party outside. Sorry. Not used on at this time, but it sounds like someone's having a party. Skip, hey up, mate. I'm sorry, Matt, but if DCL is the best we can come up with since April, then this ain't good. Yeah, like I say, though, we don't know that's the best case, do we? We don't know he's the only player Leeds are going to sign in that position. We don't. He is a player we have signed in that position, but is he the player? We don't know yet. Let's see where we are in 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. So that's where I'm at. I ain't going to lose my head until that window's shut. And we'll see what squad's like, and we've played 3 games. Then we'll see where we are. 3 games in, window shut. You can look at your squad, say you've performed, the eye test, the stats, the points on the ladder, and we can have a look, can't we? Right now, is just a piece of the jigsaw that is still not complete. Moisey's pulling a masterstroke. Won't take Jack H off us. Engineered to get DCL off his books and end up at Leeds. Yeah, it's a glass half empty fan base at the minute, and yeah, I'm just not having it. But it's all about opinions, guys, and I respect them, man. And I understand them. And you're not saying anything I didn't expect. Totally expected this. There's 77 of you watching. I would love it if you'd kindly smash that like, please. On 27. Can we get it up to about 50? That'd be great, even though it's not maybe not a video you want to like talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But I'd really appreciate if you'd wrap those likes up, please, past where they are. Thank you very much. Yeah, look at that. Great comment. I'm going to try and I'll actually. Wands. Yeah, I'm not going there. Getting welcome to Leeds DCL. You wear the white shirt, we support you. Yeah, we've got to, haven't we? On a mooch. Yeah, this is DCL will qualify off the bench, will be quality off the bench, limit the game time, avoid injury, would still have liked Bamford's play this season. I had Paddy down to be in the English one next year. Oof, on a mooch, that is wild. But yeah, it's not going to happen. I'd have liked Bamford to have been good enough to still be in an around squad, but yeah, it's not going to happen. But it's a great point. You know, a bit like it reminisces very similar to the Calvert-Lewin at Everton with Bamford at Leeds in terms of number 9, so much pressure to get him back on the field because the other strikers he had were poor, weren't cutting the mustard. The main guy at Everton, the main guy at Leeds, as soon as they come back, you know, maybe a bit too early. We've seen Pat come back way too early. Probably the same with DCL in some instances. And there's that pressure to get him back and play 90 minutes because you need the goals to stay up. But, you know, we need teams for goals to stay up. We need goals to gain promotion, and he weren't fit. And DCL's been a bit like that with Everton. So at Leeds, he isn't going to have that pressure. Yeah, I reckon he'll wear the number 9 in his back, but there's not going to be the pressure to get him back early. If he has got a knock, put that pressure on him to keep Leeds in the division because that burden can be carried by many. You know, if we go with Pirro on opening day, people will be, you know, maybe say he's not good enough, but people will be like, Sam will get behind it. But you're also hoping your wingers, you know, can get forward and get goals. We're also hoping that midfield can get goals. And we sort of feel like we can do that. You know, we've been getting goals from all around the pitch for the last 2 years, really, not heavily relying on number 9 just to you know, solely carry that on their own. So he isn't going to be out and out, you're the 9. You're going to be playing it every minute of every game. There's that pressure, you know. Maybe he will break. Maybe he'll never get to that point where he is always fit to be able to play a multitude of games. But he's going to be in and out. He's going to be fighting for his place with equally sort of. I'd say is in the same mould as the other 2 players in terms of quality. I think if he's fully fit and, you know, no injuries at all, he's probably better than both. But I think now with what the question marks against him, maybe he falls in that line of any one of them 3 are probably good enough to start. Maybe they're all in the same sort of mode, like I say. And is it hard to singularly pick one out and go, he's better than him or he should start? Maybe not. But I think it's 3 good options. Are any of those options what you want as your starting 9? Probably not. Probably not. But I don't think they're a bad bunch, mate. I really don't. And that's the problem, Stevie. This is what everyone's going to do, right? It's like now if we sign Solomon, I'm happy with Solomon. But because we've gone from Pajal to Solomon, it's an absolute disaster. Because we've gone from Muniz to DCL, it's a disaster. But can I just say something, yeah? Pajal was never our fucking player. Muniz, Stevie, was never a Leeds United player, pal. Ever. We were in fucking Championship for the last 24 months, mate. Muniz was never a Leeds United player. Neither was Pajal. Not once. Not once has he wore that crest. Never. So why are we moaning about we've gone from to this to this? We haven't gone from out. We've gone from being linked. We don't know what goes in at the club. We don't. So, yeah, for me, I don't think it's going to look good to the fans if we also do something similar on that left wing as well as what we've done now. It feels like a massive drop-off to many. But like I say, we never had that player. You know, it's not like we've had Muniz, we've sold him and brought in DCL. We were linked with a player that's maybe better than DCL. Probably is better than DCL, high potential and all that shit. I get it. But let's not lose his head. Let's not lose his head. I think it's been a decent window thus far. And this is just another component added to it. And there's a lot more to do, we know that. More quality to bring in. And the board know that. Would love Oscarson as well. Yeah, well, I put a video out about that, didn't I? Which hopefully don't make me look stupid. But yeah, we've definitely been looking at Ori Oscarson, mate, as my video suggests. I wouldn't mind bringing in someone like that, someone who's maybe not proven as that fourth choice, who I reckon would be way up the pecking order than fourth choice, to be fair. But maybe this allows to bring in someone like that, maybe a bit more of someone who's fit, but maybe a little bit younger, maybe not proven at the top level. So maybe that Ori Oscarson deal could still go ahead. Would he come? Would he look at Leeds signing DCL and having Pitto and Metcher as, strong competition? Maybe he looks at it and fancies his chances. So I think buying DCL rules out spending big on a transfer like 35-40 million pound in my eyes. I think that gets invested elsewhere, probably on that left wing, maybe in the 10. El Khanouchi is coming in as a winger, an 8 or a 10 or a variation of all three, but we'll have to see. DCL has a 0.23 goal ratio, averaging 239. That is poor. Like I say, a lot of factors though. A lot of factors. Look how many goals Everton scored. Look how many chances they created in the last 5 years. Look where they've finished over the last 5 years. Everton have been in an absolute disgraceful position for the last 5 years. How they didn't go down, I don't know. Accumulation, I suppose. Poor transfers, overspending, that points deduction, the new stadium. They've had so much going on and they've just about kept their head above water, haven't they? Just about maintained that Premier League survival. And he's been in there in probably the worst stint Everton have had in years. They haven't been a good side for ages. And he's been the main man. So rightly so, if they aren't winning games, he's gonna have to lead that line and take those knocks. And no one will be more disappointed about coming off that pitch not scoring than the main striker. So I get that, but there is context to be applied. So there is context to be applied there that Everton have been so turgid. You can't put the ball in the back of the net if you are getting the service. You can't. Will DCL start Monday? No, Williak, mate. No chance. No chance. No, I would say no. Goodbye, Patrick Bamford. Hello, Patrick. I love that, Jay. Shane Dalton. I'll sit on the fence and see how this one goes. Yeah, that's it's not a bad way to approach it, mate. Boss, Nass, don't love it, don't hate it. If he's been put on a prove-it style contract where he is heavily incentivized with appearance and goal bonus, I'm okay with it. Definitely a gamble, but could pay off. Yeah, it's a gamble in terms of needing the players to stay up. It's not a financial gamble, I would suggest, because even if it's not an incentive-based contract, mate, it isn't going to be a big money contract. I can't see it. It ain't going to be nowhere near what. Which is surprised why it's come to Leeds, because I would assume if it were on 150 grand a week, he's halved it at least. Which is a bit mad. Yeah, like I say, it's not just him, though. Whether it's good or bad, BNG depends hugely on whether he stays fit. I'm not sure he did have similar concerns with Solomon. It might only be a 1 year deal, and if he, yeah, that's it. I'm really interested to see what the length of the deal is. Really interested. Like I say, if is it a long deal? Is it just 1 or 2 years? It's gonna be really interesting. Keeping fit, he will score 12 goals this season. Yeah, but that's based on him playing a lot of minutes. will he play? Will he be a starter? He's going to be sharing the minutes with Pirro and Metcher and maybe one other. So it's hard to sort of grasp how many goals he'll score, mate. I think 12 might be a bit too high. But is he a world we live in where he chips in with 6 or 7? Pirro can get in and around 10, and Metcher gets something like 6 or 7. And then you got your wingers and your midfielders who can chip in with 4 or 5 apiece. I do. I think that's possible. DCL, as I've been at Everton, which are big clubs, so the shirt won't be a heavy for him. Plenty of experience. Yeah, I don't think that'll bother him. I think he's had a lot of stick playing for Everton, not scoring as well, and being injured and a lot of pressure. Like I say, it's still a heavy shirt. It's passionate fan base. It can't be an easy place to be playing at Gunderson when you're going on barren runs and not scoring goals. So I don't think the shirt will be too heavy for him. I think he'll put himself under a mass amount of pressure to try and stay fit at Leeds United, because they're not stupid. He'll have seen Patrick Bamford being number 9 and not playing games, and everyone sort of knows, I think, in world and country that Bamford gets a lot of stick for that, and there will be a bit of pressure he'll put on himself to perform, and I would assume he would have aspirations still of playing for England at 28-year-old. What has he got, like 11 caps or something, handful of goals? He will still have aspirations of playing for England, which sounds ridiculous, but then again, Bamford thought he did, didn't he? Bamford wanted to get into World Cup squad at the end of the year, which is ludicrous. So DCL will definitely fancy it. A broken body has been, doesn't mean it will be though, Sam. Just because something's happened before doesn't mean it's going to continue to happen. But Bamford burnt us, didn't he? Because he just can't get over it. But everybody loves an underdog. I love an underdog, and I would love nothing more than this guy to, hit the heights he can hit and stay fit. DCL is like a 3-year-old fleet car that's gone 6. Yeah, it feels like he's got a lot of miles on clock, doesn't he? We're struggling to sell him because he's got too many miles on clock. Yeah, that's it, Jamie. Well, when I looked at it, it said about 15 million euros, but I'm sure he moved from I'm sure he moved to Real Sociedad, for 20 million euros. So maybe more than that, mate. But not still 40, 50 million euros. He ain't going to be that much. But it'll be a decent chunk of change, but we'll have that now, signing someone like DCL, mate. So, hey up, John. If what you said about him is true, then I'm glad he turned us down, mate. It's that simple. Good luck, 25-26. Cheers, pal. But yeah, he turned you down, apparently. A lot of Leeds fans have been laughing at the fact he turned you down, and it's nice that happened other way for a change. I don't really get it, because one of you guys is bothered that you haven't signed DCL, so I don't really think it's one all on that spend. I kind of think you're glad you haven't got him, and a lot of our Leeds fans are bothered we have. So I think it's one of them where we've just got to front it as fans. We're getting stick for it. The media, the fan base, the opposition fans are really giving it to Leeds at the minute, because for some reason it feels like it's deemed Leeds of having a poor window and haven't done enough. I've just seen us play Milan in Ireland, and it looked pretty good to me. We all know we were buying physical players, getting free in midfield. We all wanted Farke to adapt, and now we're moaning that we're lacking. Well, we look like we're lacking quality, and we're not going to score enough goals. And yeah, but you also moan that we're going to concede goals, and we need, we're too open, and he can't change. So he's changed. He's made us a bit more hard to beat, a bit more solid, and now it's not good enough. We want to not concede goals, but still score 5 every week. Well, it's not going to fucking happen. Like, you can't, lesser two evils. You can't have them both. So we're harder to beat now. Tick that box. I think we've proved that of a pre-season. Can we take it into Prem? Acid test, we'll find out come Monday and onwards. But this is just another key component. It's another body. I said in my video yesterday, I don't think Leeds need to spend 40 on a winger, 40 on a striker to guarantee survival. It gives you more chance. Yeah. But I think Leeds can hit 40 points anyway. Maybe spending 40 on a winger and 40 on a striker gets us 45 points. And we can breathe a little bit easier. Maybe. But I don't think the bad deals we've done. And I personally think we've made the best signing any promoting sides made since Reframing in Anton Stack. I think we've made one of the best signings, a newly promoted side made in a long, long time, bar Reframing. We won't be moaning about how bad a transfer window was. If we survive this year, build on it, and then in 2 or 3 years' time, maybe in a year's time, we've got Anton Stack worth 40, 50 million starring for Germany. Just got to trust the process. I understand, you know, we haven't brought a player in since Perry, what, nearly 2 weeks ago. Top draw signing, by the way. So we've brought in a couple of really good signings, and then we have had to thicken the squad up with experience. Trust the Niners, rate the squad after the deadline passed 100%. 100%, mate. Chris Gillett, morning, Matty. I'm not too happy at DCL. Another Bamford on higher wages, strange move for them. I think you get more from him, though. In my opinion, you get more from DCL than you ever have from Pat. He's younger as well. For me, you just get more out of him. It's a risk. Financial, not a big one for me. But yeah, it's a risk. I think DCL is a good option, but in my opinion, we don't sign a marquee striker, then we are down. I don't agree with that, Matt, and I can't. I don't agree with that at all. And a lot of people go with that notion, mate. A lot of people go with that notion. It has to be a £40 million striker or we're relegated. I just don't believe it. I genuinely just don't think that's the case, mate. I don't think there's any truth in any of that. Gives you more chance of staying up. Of course it does. It's not the be all and end all. I hope Sarah. Yeah, they do just moan. Yeah, I get it. Let's be fair, Sarah. When you saw the news, you knew what were coming from fan base. Fulham signing Kevin. I seen that yesterday, Gavin. Is that definitely happening? We don't get a fully fit and firing Calvert-Lewin. He goes elsewhere. Reward outweighs risk. It's a good signing. Yeah, I agree, mate. BMG, in the hindsight, the worst thing we could have done is get so close to Pajau. Anyone not at that level is labelled as... That's it. 100%, mate. 100%. We don't even know, how close we were. We felt like we were on cusp, didn't we, of signing Pajau? Felt like we were on the cusp, and obviously it didn't happen. And 100%, that's sort of tarnished any signing now that is below elite or potential elite player. Anyone that comes in now below that level is deemed a poor signing, which is just not... We are a newly promoted side. With them expecting 40, 50 million pound signings as a newly promoted side. I know that's where the world is now. I know that money, it's inflated. It's ridiculous. No one should ever cost that much money, but it's football. That's what they are. But I just think DCL, he's got a good pedigree. It's just his injury record. But we're looking, at Bamford, and we're looking at this and that. But if you just look to Byram and think, well, look what Byram's done. Has Byram had any lengthy layoffs? No. He's missed odd game. He's been unfit for some games. He hasn't made bench as backup, because he's got a knock or whatever. We've had to manage him in training, maybe not be as intense with him. Guess what? He's done a cracking job for the last 2 years as Sam Byram. Why can't DCL do that? Because he ain't coming in as... He's going to get that 9 shirt, I'm telling you. But he ain't coming in guaranteed to play every minute of every game with the pressure to do that. He isn't. So why can't Farke manage his minutes? He did brilliant with Solomon last year. Solomon came and get game time and build that fitness up. Did great. Guess what? He's gone back to Spurs and he's crocked again. Did okay under Farke. 2 games in a week and stuff. Ramazani, for me, one of the best ballers at the club. Sat there on bench for 4 weeks in a row while Solomon just kept on playing. Fitness worries. What fitness worries? Why can't we back the team to get it right? The club to get it right? Just because it was this here, why has it got elsewhere? Why has it got to be the same here? Why can't it change? I would say it's an upgrade on Joseph, yeah. Right now, if he's fit, he's an upgrade right now, yeah. He's not saying Joseph don't go on to bigger and better things. 105 watching. That's most I've ever had fruit day whenever I've jumped on, which is rare, but thanks so much. Please subscribe if you're new here, and please stick a like on the video. It's on 57 currently. I really do appreciate it. And there's memberships in the description below. If you want to become a member and get added to the WhatsApp group, it's been popping off in fine fashion today, as you can imagine. Bargain basement again. I'm done. Don't be done, Jay. We play Everton Monday, pal. I'm sure you'll be watching. You're not done. You're just fed up right now. Monday's coming. You'll be buzzing for it. You're not done, mate. You're not. We aren't done. We're just getting started. Everyone says Solomon had bad injury record. There you go. Turned out without his goal, we'd be in the champ. Well, without his goal, we wouldn't have won the title. Sarah, you're right, but we're all right. Bielsa's knee. These Leeds fans are dramatic. It's fine. This is a reality of being a relegation club, which we are. We need to make calculated gambles. The idea we'd get 40 million. Yeah, that's sort of where I am with it. It's a calculated gamble. It's not going to jeopardise the club in any way. But the signings that Sunderland are making, there's a chance that jeopardises the club's stability going forward. If they spend that money, it don't work and they go down. they've spent beyond the means potentially if they're then a relegated club. When they've only had 1 year in Premier League out of 3, it's a massive gamble. I think it's a smart bit of business. We don't know the contract offer, we don't know the contract length, we don't know the incentives, like Boston said earlier. It's maybe it ends up being a great deal for Leeds, and we're all saying, 6 months, great deal. Is it out of the realms of possibility that if you give him the right service and he isn't injured, that Calvert-Lewin gets more than 10 goals this season? 10, 12, 15. If he plays big minutes, is it out of the realms of possibility he plays a game and he gets a brace in his first game? No, it's not out of the realms of possibility. If we give him the service and you put good players around him, he's got all the attributes you want from your main nine. When I think, going back a few years when he was in form, you looked at him and, he had everything you want from a striker, from a number 9. When you're playing on your own, exactly what you want. Hold up play, great in the air, again, tall. We're going to score loads of goals from set pieces this season, in my book. The amount of headers we'll score from defenders, now strikers, we've got such a physical side, and question mark against fitness. You can't get away from that until he stays fit. So that's on him. Need a little bit of luck along the way too. But I think the load in his body won't be as vast because he isn't going to have the pressure to be there day in, day out, We've got other players who'll carry that burden, like I said earlier. He rejects Sunderland, so make of that what you will. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised he rejected Sunderland, I won't lie. Sad thing is, we have needed quality striker for 5 or 6 seasons now, and this is the best we can come up with. Massive panic buy. I don't know. I really don't. I think you've got to give Pirro a crack. I think he deserves that, and I think there's no saying he can't have a good season. Metcha, just because he's free is a bad signing, is it? Metcha's a decent signing. Looked great in pre-season. Couple of goals in there too. And DCL, if he stays fit, England international, 28, vast experience. We'll go on about his goal ratio and how many appearances after goals. He still scores 70 odd goals in Premier League. Who else has done that in this side? Who else has done that in any newly promoted sides? So you just got to wait up. You're going to sit on you're going to sit on the fence and not be arsed. You're going to sit either side of the fence and argue with the other side, and that's absolutely fine. And you may be proven right. The likelihood is his body doesn't hold up because it hasn't done, recently. And maybe you can sit there and go, well, I told you so. And it's one of them. I think I'm fully aware that could happen, as is everybody. But maybe, just maybe it works out. Maybe it works out. And maybe it's a really good deal for a club. I'd rather him sign for us and be in our squad than one of our rivals, i.e. Sunderland or Burnley. I mean, if I'm honest, mate, and I'm sure you'll agree, though, if Burnley would have signed DCL yesterday, he wouldn't have been asked. It wouldn't have been a sign, just like Sunderland out and Burnley out of us. Nobody's looking at us going, oh, they've signed Calvert-Lewin. And that, like I say, as a fan, you've got to front that up. That banter you get from on social media, from your mates at work and stuff, if they're not Leeds fans, you're going to get that banter. I've had it already. I've had a Liverpool fan send me saying, are you joking? Sunderland fan text me saying, bloody hell, you've got him, and laughing down the phone. And it is what it is. We've got to front up as fans. Right now, it looks like Sunderland have smashed us in market, and we've got a couple of black eyes. But guess what? Because I live with glass half full, I fucking back us to get it right, and I back us to have a good season, and I back us to take those shots, wipe that blood off his nose, and then come end of the season be stood there laughing while potentially other ones are going down. Because right now, I've got not to be anything but happy about when it comes to Leeds United. If it's ruined your day, I think they've got a lot more stuff going on in your life that's bogging you down. And I'm always here for a DM if you want to message me, and that's not even me taking piss. Genuinely, if you've got other shit going on, just send us a message, man. Because if DCL's proper ruined your day, you're a hardcore fan and you take things to heart. And when we lose, I am down. It ruins my weekend. But if signing Calvert-Lewin's proper, making you feel depressed and gutted, then just ping me a message over and we'll have a chat. Because, that shouldn't be defining your mood, signing DCL. Not unless it was last minute, a deadline day, and we still didn't have a striker. I'd be right there with you maybe then. We'll go have a drink together there. But, I've seen DCL is about 86. Yeah, we don't know. It's all hearsay, mate, a minute, innit? We'll have to see. On Niners' point, how many Prem strikers scored over 20 goals a season? You cannot use it. You can't. The 20 goals a season is something we used to talk about 10, 15 years ago. It's not a thing now. If you have a striker getting 10, 12, 13 goals, and he's bringing into play your wingers who are getting 6, 7, 8, then that's sort of your benchmark for the side where we are probably. Something like, say, 5 million signing on fee and 60-day wage might be how we do it. Ian Ward, if he scores against Everton, he will be an instant hero. Yeah. Well, to be fair, if it ends up being something like that and it's a like-for-like swap and it 1 out, 1 in, same sort of money, same risk, but the reward, I think, of getting Dominic Calvert-Lewin firing and fit is a lot higher than what Bamford was. Because let's be fair, people are comparing the two, yeah? Let's not be daft now. He might be a Patrick Bamford lover. And I loved him at the end of last season. Thought he did really well when he came back. But at times, Patrick Bamford was like having an Elan Meslier as a striker. Howler after howler after howler of misses. You know, to the level of a Meslier howler, but as a striker. We've seen him miss sitter after sitter. Calvert-Lewin ain't known for that. So we can compare him with injuries. But people saying they'd rather have Bamford, I don't understand that. That's the sentiment. That's because you know who he is. That's because you love him. I get that bit, I suppose. But you get Bamford fit and firing. You get Bamford without no injury. He doesn't give you the output a fit Calvert-Lewin gives you. Absolutely no chance. No chance. Imagine a penalty at 90th minute in, you know, at home to Newcastle in a couple of weeks. If Calvert-Lewin were taking a penalty fit on field, you wouldn't feel as stressed as you would about Bamford doing it. We hear the gasp when Bamford jokingly holds a ball on the penalty spot because you don't even want him to take a penalty. But you've got much, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a very high percentage likely chance you're going to score it. But let's not rewrite history and pretend, you know, Bamford, if it's way better than Calvert-Lewin, because that's a lie. Schmidt and Byram in the Premier League is people above not doing their job right. My opinion is neglect Tom backing Farke, and I'm Farke out, but he needs help. I don't think they've not backed him, mate. How have they not backed him, Stevie? What have we spent? 75, 80 million-ish? 70 odd million? Brought in Stack, class, Peris, class. Brought in some really good squad players, granted. They're not all starters, you know, Bornau, and he brought in Biol. I think you rate him. We tried to get Pajau. We could be sat here now with Pajau signed as well. Just didn't happen. Not everybody wants to sign for Leeds United, pal. But I don't see how they're not backing him. We know we've got 30 odd million plus to buy a winger. We know we're in talks with El Canoes. I actually think the El Canoes deal gets done, if I'm honest. In my opinion, I do. Would you be happy then? Let's be fair. By end of window, we'll have spent way over 100 million quid. We'll have brought in 10 players. And for me, that's giving it a go. Stop comparing it with Sunderland, if that's what you're doing, because I don't see how we haven't backed him. You can't get every player you go for. Not where we are. DCL, I can understand the fan support, but it's going to disappear when he gets injured. Too much risk. Yeah, but like I say, if he gets injured, everyone will just say, well, I told you so, and it is what it is. Who cares at that point? And if you don't get injured, then it's worked out to be a good deal, hasn't it? Yeah, maybe he could have done. Maybe he could have done. Wouldn't have been a bad shout. But maybe he don't have to. Maybe dropping to Leeds, who are a relegation scrap inside this season, whereas Everton probably aren't now with players they've signed. Maybe Everton are looking a little bit higher up. I hope not, but maybe they are. Maybe coming to Leeds is obviously it's better than dropping to Championship, but it gives him a better opportunity if staying fit for pushing for England, because that's what he'll be aiming for. And there's something in that, you know. There's something in signing someone who's took knocks and is getting rid off. I love that, because it's that bit of bite that Amouni's won't have. There's that bit of fuck you, I told you so, that can make him push you on to the next level. I'm massive on the mental side of the game. Battling injury after injury. They're alone watching team play from stands. That hurts, does that? I know at Creators Cup, I had to watch second half from stands because I pulled my calf after scoring first goal. I don't know if I told you that. A 3-yard screamer. But no, all jokes aside, like it matters. It matters, and I really love that kind of player who's got that bit between his teeth. They need to prove someone wrong. They need to get, show how good they can be and prove the doubters. And let's be fair, there's more people doubting him than supporting him right now. And that needs to change, because if we get it right, then we're laughing. We're laughing. Oh, wow. I've just seen these pop up. Sorry, I didn't see these. GP26. Well, mate, only jumped on. I'll be back to watch. Thank you so much for your donation, mate. Wow, Stevie, thanks, mate. I'd have read it out for note, Thanks, so, buddy. Really appreciate that, The 49ers are responsible for transfers. Whereas the top targets, I'll tell you, not coming to Leeds every season. We say try, but doesn't help because it's looking ridiculous at the minute. I know, mate. It's so hard because thank you for your donation, but I don't like the comment. It's opinion, Stevie. I totally get it. Honestly, I totally get where you're coming from. I just refuse to be downhearted about it till I see it with my own eyes. You know, until I see him injured, till I see a struggle, I can't be too down about it. I don't want to live in that world, pal. I really don't. But thanks for your support, Stevie. As always, mate, you're a top guy. Thank you so much as well, GP. I don't ever expect anything like that. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Philip, he's not. He's not. Feels like I've lost my wallet and found a penny. Question: would you spend 50 million on Mooney's or take DCL on a free and spend money elsewhere? DCL and spend money elsewhere because I think Pirro and Mecha are good enough anyway. That's in my opinion. As long as they have that quality in and around them. So yeah, I asked if we don't get a Moonez, what's he done? He's done well in Prem for 12 months or so, 6 months. I aren't massively sold on Moonez. It honestly doesn't bother me, to be honest. I'm in that sort of space now where I just back him because I haven't got no reason not to. And then we'll see where we are. Let's see if El Canoes plays for Leicester tonight. Yeah, that's interesting. If we have Pajao and Moonez, doesn't mean we still wouldn't be fighting relegation and getting battered a few times. I hope DCL and others prove the morning marriage. Yeah, that's it. And I understand it. You know, people spend the money. People are so invested financially, emotionally in Leeds United. It's what you do as a football fan. And it means something to us, and it's hard when it's going wrong. So I get it. You just want everyone to be at a level that guarantees you've got no stressful moments. But with Leeds, we could spend 300 million in transfer window, and we'd probably still fuck it up at times and still be stressed. So I've just got to back the decisions the club are making a minute because whatever we say, do or moan about, it don't really matter because they'll do what they want anyway. Right, spot on the DCL acquisition leaves room for a mental £50 million signing at number 10 wing or even a 9. Let's hope. Yeah, we've seen it already. We've seen some signings coming who aren't massive financially, and then we've gone on and been able to sign some players who are of a level, like your Anton Stacks and your Beales and people like that. So don't be so downhearted about it. 1 sec. We will be good. 143 watching, 70 likes. Can we get that up, please, to 100 before I finish? That would be great. Thank you very much, Jay. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Oscarson would laugh at our forwards. He wouldn't come to Leeds to play the Joseph role. He's the captain of the Icelandic national team. I like what I see of that Oscarson. I know we had a chat about him, didn't we, yesterday. I hope that's when we get done. I really do. I really, really do. I think that too, Emmett. That's how I sort of am on that one. I would never massively sold on him. I'd have liked getting him just for the fact that the club wanted him. But if that's not a deal that can happen, then we move on, don't we? And maybe DCL's that. Maybe he's one of two. We're going to bring him. We'll have to see. Arse Ripper, if it's true, then I'll be devastated. I haven't seen anything credible. It's just a rumour that's not gone away. Does that mean it's got legs? I don't know. I'd be gobsmacked if we were to loan Rama to Rangers. I'd be gobsmacked. We've got 3 underdogs up front now. Where's our big dog? I think Pirro's his big dog, mate. I actually think Metch's his big dog. You've seen him. I were only about 10 rows from him on Tuesday. We're an absolute beast. All gravy, lad. You're all okay. Trying to make DCL make sense, but struggling here. It's fine. It's fine. I'm only coming here for a bit of a waffle. I'm going to tell you not groundbreaking, just my opinion. And I don't think it's as bad as what people think. I think Leeds get DCL, not as a striker, but maybe to contribute in other ways. Bielsa, don't get it. We want Prem experience. We get it, then complain. Here's a fact. DCL has been in the Prem the last 9 years and never got relegated. Yeah. That is a fair point. About 60 in Prem. I thought it was 70 somewhere. Maybe it's 70 in total, including Cup. So, yeah, maybe you're right on there. Afternoon, I up top, and I hope you're well. Tick all those likes for me, please. Thank you so much. Start calling the 499ers. I love that. That's class. I was in such a good mood. This just totally ruined my day, this. Don't let it, mate. Michael Pollard, DCL could be a masterstroke. He's the only one that can leap high enough to get onto Jack Hitch's crossing. It's a shambles. You're not happy at all, are you, mate? You need to go for a lie down, you. Back down to the league we got promoted from. Honestly, you've been the most positive fan. And when I've been even remotely negative, you came on this channel, Philip, when I were having a negative moan in and around the Swansea game and I lost my marbles. And you tanned me ass nearly every day when I was negative. I can't believe what I'm reading from you, mate. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. And then you say something really positive and maybe a little bit out there, but I like Solomon, mate. I'd have him. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, he's been compared. Everything's getting compared between him and DCL. Like I say, I would prefer DCL over Bamford, but his name gets brought up in comparison for injuries. But for me, that you can't really compare him because he's a better player. And Badham's backup, though, DCL is probably 100k a week to press it. I don't think he would be, though, Righteous One. I don't think he'll be on 100 grand a week. In my opinion, he won't be on 100k a week. And even if he won 100k a week, he's no guarantee he's a starter. He'll probably wear number 9 shirt. It still doesn't guarantee him a start. Not when he's got, Pirou and Mecha, maybe one more yet to fight with. I don't know what you're getting at there, Stevie. I really don't, pal. It won't run at all, mate. It's all good, mate. It's all good, pal. I like to stay positive. I believe in positive energy. Yeah. Let's skip at least 49ers with the DCL signing off. Forward looking for the championship. Skip. What's going on, mate? Really negative. My word. Joe Blackburn just messaged me that. Imagine this, though. Class, Joe. Love it. Love it. One sec. Absolutely love that, Joe. Hey up, Lee. Hope you're well, mate. We have previous with Byron. We knew what kind of player we would be getting with the injury history. I was confident he would be solid. DCL is a risk. We already have Mecha with injury. Yeah, I get it. I get it. He is a risk, but Moonies would have been, and someone like Diarra too, because he's unproven. Yeah, financial risk, and then obviously there's a risk just in trying to stay in the division. And I think we'll be fine. It is too warm, Sarah. I'm melting here, absolutely melting. One amazing factor, he won't be spending more than PSI. I think we had a better transfer window last season, really. I'm relaxed. Don't think I'm sat here raging. I'm just expressing my opinion. Yeah, we all will. We will get. Everyone will get behind him. Even people that don't fancy him now will still definitely get behind him. Won't they? When he's wearing that shirt, Ellen Road, everyone will. Yeah, I heard that. I don't know. Maybe that's why he turned down. It feels strange to me that I did turn him down. Leeds is a better club than Sunderland, in my opinion, but you could argue these similarities there this season, similarities in terms of stature or whatever. I'm surprised they turned him down. So maybe that was one of the contracts that they were a bit stingy on. Whereas for everybody else, I feel like they've been paying over odds. But maybe with that one, rightly so, they maybe didn't. You've heard some ridiculous takes today, Matty, on other streams. Yeah, there's been some ridiculous ones just in general. Yeah, that's it, Sarah. That's all I can do. I'm a football fan. All this sort of stuff, it's just not my bag, really. But yeah, it is what it is. Michael Pollard, DCL, I wonder what the terms of the deal might be. Does he still get paid or full whack if injured? I reckon it'll be a normal wage. Just, whatever his wage is, it'll just be a normal contract. Because like you say, there's rumours that he want to pay to play at Sunderland. And obviously he hasn't signed there and turned them down. But that's just rumours. Smash a like and subscribe to our Matty. Cheers, Jamie. They have Matty and I bet you're Sunderland. Yeah, well, we're laughing to me. He were laughing at me. This is what I mean. As fans, we're having to front it up. The club are doing some deals that out there on social media and in the press make us look a laughing stock. And I get it. This is another one of those deals that it looks like, oh, you've signed, crock. But we'll have to see how it goes. We'll have to see. I don't mind being laughed at. I don't mind it. That's why I'm on here. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen, does it? It doesn't mean The bookies are saying Leeds going down. Everybody else is saying Leeds going down. Before DCL, a couple of weeks ago, we were all, when we got promoted, we were getting told we were getting sent down. We weren't thinking that then, were we? Before we signed a player, I didn't sign a player. I will give it a go. We'll give it a go. We'll stay up next year. We'll stay up next year. Just because someone says something's going to happen, don't mean it is going to happen. Matty, we not gone in with the right approach to this. We might regret this move because the 49ers are all about PR and not Leeds United, pal. Again, I'm not too sure. I'm just not too sure. We'll have to see. Oh, but yeah, I'm going to call it a day there. Thank you very much for watching. I've done almost an hour. I haven't quite got through everyone's comments like I like, but in about 60 seconds, the boys are going to run in here and go mental. Probably not because I'm here and Daddy, probably just mental because we are all a little bit mental in this house. So and I can see, Cheese, I can see you brought some people over. Thank you so much to Joe Blackburn for bringing some over. And thanks to everyone watching. I don't ever stream through days. So this were a little bit new with me. But I do appreciate you all coming for a little ganders. So thank you very much. But I am going to call it there because the kids are coming in. But yeah, don't be too downbeat. It will all be okay. We will be fine. You're welcome, Jamie. Thanks for the stream. No worries. And yeah, I'll see you all on the next one. So take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe on your way out. Here they come. Bye-bye, everyone.